From the ages of 8 to 10, hospitals, doctors' offices, and specialists' offices were my home away from home. I had the most horrific stomach issues. I went through test after test after test. And a lot of the time, my tests did come back weird or did come back inconclusive. But you know what the doctors decided in their infinite wisdom? Well, I must have an ulcer. I didn't. Well, it must just be in my head. It wasn't. Because I am a child, will be able to fix all of this with warm milk. Wouldn't you know it? I was lactose intolerant, severely. When I was 14, my monthly cycles cranked up to an 11. They were so bad, I could not function. I couldn't go to school. I couldn't do anything on the first 1 or 2 days that I had my period. They were so bad, I lost track of time. I lost track of everything. It got so bad, in fact, that I actually did OD on pain medicine because I was in that much pain. But when I went to the doctors, when I went to the specialist, you know what they said? It's just a little cramps. It's not that big a deal. Girls just have these things. She's probably being dramatic. When I was 21, my period came on suddenly out of nowhere. But it didn't just come on. It slammed into me like a tidal wave, a never-ending tidal wave. I went through 3 super-sized sanitary napkins in the span of 45 minutes. I was bleeding so fast I could not stand up straight without passing out. An ambulance had to be called. But what happened when I got to the hospital? They said, oh, well, it seems to have slowed down. She probably just had a little bit of a period, you know. Turns out later, I had been hemorrhaging, which, seems obvious. When I was 25, I had a baby. Because I have an insanely high pain tolerance, I was not exhibiting any of the histrionics that they would expect from a woman in labor, so they assumed that I was not actively in labor, even though I would tell them when the contractions hit. After a few hours, they decided they were going to send me home. And then they said, upon further inspection, it looks like the sensors were placed on wrong. Later, then they said, oh no, we have to get you into a room because you're about to need an emergency C-section. Mind you, we went from there's nothing wrong with you to you're about to need an emergency C-section in the span of 20 minutes. At 26, just a week later though, at 26, I took my baby to his doctor because he was not holding the milk down. He was getting violently sick. And I told her, I think he's lactose intolerant. It tracks. I'm lactose intolerant. My dad's lactose intolerant. My brother's lactose intolerant. The doctor laughed at me. I went to the WIC office and said, hey, can we switch his formula over? And they said, not without a doctor. And the doctor refused. Okay. So my baby got sicker and sicker and sicker. I was out of work at this time. I was on maternity leave, but the money, stuff is expensive. And I am allergic to soy. So the thing that I would put my baby on, I myself am allergic to. So the last thing I wanted to do was go, oh my God, if I'm allergic to soy, what if he's allergic to soy? I'm not trying to have a baby go into anaphylactic shock. But what happened was worse. What happened was that over the span of a week, he completely dehydrated. What happened was that even though I kept going over and over and over again to multiple different doctor's offices, no one was taking me seriously until the day that his pee was brown, until the day when he projectile vomited on the sky, on the floor, in my hair, everywhere, until the day when I finally had to take him to the children's hospital, the next town over, and they threatened to call Child Protective Services because they thought he had been abused. Turns out, my baby is lactose intolerant. And you know what all of these stories have in common? None of the doctors looked like me. There is a reason all of my doctors are black now. There is a reason for a website specifically to find black doctors. It's not discrimination, it's literally life and death.